Hi, let's just get started. The first product I want to use is this Hollywood Flawless Filter. Actually, I quite like this. Usually not for a primer kind of thing, but for a highlighter on top of the primer. Today I want an extra glowy look, so now putting some underneath the foundation. So the foundation I want to use is this one, and I'm in the shade 4. They say this is a foundation, but the coverage is really just tinted moisturizer kind of thing. I actually use this quite often on a daily basis, and I'm usually using this just with my finger, because with brush or sponge, it will just mostly absorb the majority of the product, so I recommend to apply this with your finger. And it's a very glowy product. It gives me a fairly even base, but it doesn't cover too much, like the hyperpigmentation here. So still, you can still see that. It might be weird, but I use this foundation as a concealer. Concealer is basically just the same thing as foundation. It's just sometimes the texture is a little bit different. Like concealer tend to be a little thicker and has more coverage, but this is more the coverage more than concealer. It dries fairly quick, so it won't move under your eye, but you just have to be a little bit quicker. The powder to set my skin is this one, the Airbrush Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Macro Powder in the shade 2 medium. Actually, this shade is a little bit too dark for me to apply under my eye, so I'm just gonna use another random powder for my under eye. Now set the rest of my face with this powder. Don't know if you can tell, it's definitely a little bit darker for my skin. And the next will be eyeshadow. Actually, I quite like their this kind of long palette. It's easy to blend, and the color is very, very good for everyday users. I'm using this shade. The first shade in the date part. The pigmentation is quite good. Another brush to blend it. This color, a very light neutral brown shade, to blend this color further. Actually, I'm not trying to do like anything that's like very different or colorful, because I think with Charlotte Tilbury, it's really hard for you to do a very colorful shade, because I think everything is about the elegant and the sophisticated look. And another thing about Charlotte Tilbury is their packaging. You can tell they are putting a lot of effort on their packaging. And actually, also the product, you know, not just the packaging. The product is also like the quality, the texture is usually very good. But sometimes the color can be a little bit repetitive. So I think just there's no need to get everything from this brand. I just really love this, like a burnt brownish shade. a little bit like mustard kind of shade, but not too much, to the point you can tell the yellowish undertone on your eye. Apply a little bit this shade, which is the darkest shade from the date part of this palette. And actually the date part is my most used shades in this palette. Blend it a little bit more. I think it blends quite well. And then I want to use this shade. In the pot it's like a very warm bronzy shade, but on your eye it's more of a neutral brown, so it's not too warm. Can you tell the very subtle sheen of this product? Actually, this is quite a similar formula of Tom Ford cream eyeshadow. Charlotte Tilbury was once how to say, a director, maybe a director in Tom Ford, and she has developed several famous Tom Ford products. Just one shade from this palette, the first shade from the Seduce Glow part. Actually, it's just a glittery silver shade, but it's a very subtle glitter. Like you can't even tell it's glitter from far. I just really like this kind of natural but a little bit different kind of look. Eyeliner. So I have put on some mascara and eyeliner on this eye. I want to show you this eyeliner. It says it's a iconic liquid eye pencil, and it actually really feels like it's a liquid, even though it's a gel eye pencil. It's really won't tug at your eye. Very creamy, and it does set itself, so when it sets it doesn't budge. Do my wing also with this pencil, and I will do like this. I'll draw a how to say, a rough shape with this pencil, like this, and I'll take a little brush to smooth it out to like a more decent wing. That's the eyeshadow. It's nothing new, but it's what I wear every day. For bronzing and contouring, I'm using this product. Everybody knows about this product, so don't really have much to say. It's just a very easy to use kind of product. It's not too pigmented and it's not too sheer, and the color is like not too warm but not too cool, and it's not too matte and it's neither too glowy, so a good in the middle kind of product. And actually I have this like for 5 years but it still works fairly well. Put a little bit of the bronzer on my eye to blend it to my temple. Makes the eyeshadow more blend into your face. Applying a little bit on this area will give you a more lifted eye look. Yeah, just like that. Blush is from this palette. It's glowgasm face palette in the shade Lovegasm. I think it's the more darker shade from the the two palettes in this range. And I want to use which shade? This shade maybe. It's a little bit shimmery and too pigmented, so I just make sure to rub a little bit off on my wrist every time I'm applying it. You just can't apply this with a dense brush, so use a soft and more fluffy brush to apply this. Do they still have this palette? I think this highlighter is fairly similar to highlight in this palette, a little bit more goldeny. So for my lips, actually my favorite is this very Victoria shade. It's a very Charlotte Tilbury kind of shade. It's like a nude, but a little bit more than that. Today I'm in the mood of using a little brighter shade. It's just a strawberry kind of red shade. So this is the look.